Okay, I want you to choose between coffee or tea. And if you don't like either, just choose. Coffee or tea.
That's not a nice choice.
Coffee or tea, coffee or tea, coffee or tea. Oh, she's picking coffee. Okay, why do you guys pick coffee over tea?
Because it tastes better.
Tastes better?
Well, I just need to wake up right now. So.
Energy.
I was going to say energy.
Energy.
I like the different flavors of creamer.
Oh, okay. So who puts creamer in theirs? Like, oh my gosh, I'm walking away. Sorry. No, I'm not. I don't care if you put creamer in
Unless
it.
it's flavored like hazelnut,
Nah.
black coffee. You know?
Why do you guys choose tea?
She's
Arnold Palmer's.
No, gosh, sorry. Not Arnold Palmer. That's fine. Someone said that last time too. Why do we choose tea?
Oh, because it has caffeine too, but it's soothing.
Soothing.
It's good.
Is good.
It's healthier.
Yeah, you don't like coffee, you make milk. Okay. All right, mingle, back to the middle, back to the middle.
Mingle.
Hi. I'm here.
Hi.
Oh, okay.
Meet some people you haven't met yet.
Little awkward guys.
You guys are real awkward about this. Dang, I've never met. Oh my gosh, you just walk around like, oh, I'm gonna mingle, I'm gonna mingle, I'm gonna mingle. Okay. Let's see.
Guys, let's mingle.
Inside or outside?
Is that
Inside is over on this side. Outside's on this side. Oh, okay. We had like 2 people on inside last time. Okay, why? Okay, Lyric, why do you choose outside? Because it's nature. Daviana. Oh, nature, you just said that. Maria, why do you choose outside?
It's refreshing.
Refreshing. Oh, hold on.
change it
Okay,
up.
why do you choose outside? I'm sorry, what's your name?
Selena.
Selena?
Janine.
Janine, Selena. All right, cool.
There's more stuff to do.
More stuff to do. Okay. Let me jog over here. Why do you choose inside?
I don't know. I can like question it for the
No bugs.
No
Okay,
bugs,
I got
that's
that
good.
one last time too. No bugs. All right, cool. Back to the middle. Back to the middle, back to the middle, back to the middle. Mingle. All right, cool. Oh goodness. Goodness.
We get fun after this.
Okay, face-to-face relationships or like texting, online interactions with people. Be very, very honest.
I like. Oh no, but I like.
You do whatever you do.
Like friendships.
Like friendships.
Like, what if you have some people you only know online?
Which would you prefer though? Face-to-face, online, texting, blah blah blah. All right, cool. Why? Lyric.
Because face to face, you actually get to see the person, and online it's like so easy to hide things.
Okay.
And you can also like mistake a lot of stuff.
Okay. Tori.
Like what she said, like see how real.
Mackenzie.
So you can like actually like communicate easier.
Okay. Now, why do you guys choose online, texting, that sort of thing? There's no right or wrong answer. I'm just curious.
So they can stop.
Because there's a lot more emojis.
That is
Emojis. All right. Cool.
That's awesome.
You just like it better?
I text a lot of people rather than
Okay. Do you talk to them when you see them or not? When you want to.
When
Okay.
you want to. Like there's not like when you're with someone, there's always like that awkward silence. You guys on your phone forever.
I got you.
I don't know.
I got you. All right, cool. To the middle, really fast. Okay, I'm gonna go off for a second about that. Online, there's catfishing. I could do a breakout session about catfishing. Stuff is legit and weird. Okay, you never know. You never know what's gonna happen. Catfish, like, oh my god.
Oh, I thought you were talking to people you do know.
No, but some people you just don't know sometimes. You never know. You never know, Davion. All right, mingle. Well, this will be our last one. All right, mingle. Mingle. Early mornings or late nights? Night owl or morning
Late night.
I gotta go with
person?
Wait, where's late?
Late nights over here, morning over here.
I'm neither, man. I am neither.
I'm like in the middle.
Nah, there's no midday. All right. Why do you guys choose night owls, Kenzie?
Because mornings are just, I don't like it.
Lyric.
Okay, I picked the nights because nobody's up and it's quiet.
Except for all you people, obviously.
Exactly.
It's quiet and I get to read. I always
Read.
read late at night.
Okay.
Oh, she's got a good one. She
All
says.
right, yeah, I got a real good one.
All right, I'm
Like,
ready for this.
I don't know, mornings are all quiet and everyone's all grumpy and tired.
Valid, man.
That's me.
And then like at night, it's better, seems more fun. I don't know.
It's a good one. I like more fun.
More fun?
More things to do. It's good.
All right. Why mornings?
I heard this first.
Okay, why mornings, Daviana?
Oh, because I don't know, everyone's always quiet and I'm like the loudest.
The one time Daviana's the loudest is in the mornings.
I'm gonna remember that, Daviana.
It's just fun. All right.
I
Java.
would throw it, but there's people around.
There is.
I'm mornings because it's a lot more to do. Like, there's a lot more to do because you can go through the morning and through the night. And with waking up in the morning, it's like you get to experience the fullness of the day.
Mm. He wins. Okay.
Sure.
All right, you guys can all go sit down. Thank you for playing that game with me again.
I got your face. Face. That's definitely my face.
All right. So, I'm going to pray and then we will get started. I'm sorry if I sound like I'm pretending to be like gangster and talk like that. Sometimes I just do it without thinking about it.
It's natural. It's natural.
I'm not like trying to be a poser or anything. It just comes out sometimes. All right, anyway, cool. All right, God, I just thank you so much for this day. I thank you for bringing all these people here, God. I thank you for this opportunity, Father God, and I just pray that your words are spoken through me, God, and I thank you that Breathless is happening. I pray that you speak individually to each and every one of these people, God, and I just pray that they get something out of this time and they get something out of the message tonight. And we thank you and glorify you in everything that we do. In your name I pray, amen. All right, so when you guys are really, really hungry, like dinner is coming, you have not eaten all day or you had a crappy lunch, whatever, you know, you want something in that moment, right? Like you're like, I know dinner's coming and I know it's going to be good. Like my mom is making this huge dinner. She's making like a salad and steak and potatoes. If you don't like steak, substitute for something else. We're going to have like beans, and corn on the cob, and all this like this huge meal. There's going to be shrimp, crab legs, shish kebabs. I just want to say that word. And then we're going to have pie, ice cream, cake for dessert. Like it is going to be good. I have not eaten all day. I'm starving. This meal is coming. Like you know is coming and it is going to fill you up and you are just going to be so happy with it. But you are so hungry and there's a box of Twinkies sitting right next to you.
Oh.
I only use Twinkies because they're like one of the best hostess snacks ever. You don't have to choose Twinkies. Again, substitute for you want. But how many of you, just raise your hand, if you are going to eat the Twinkie to get you to like hold up until dinner? Eat the Twinkies? Who's going to wait it out? You might get a little hangry. That's when you get angry because you are so hungry and people turn into animals. You never know. Who's going to wait for the meal? All right, less of you. Cool. So, like you know this meal is going to fill you up and you don't care if the Twinkies are going to spoil that and you don't care if the Twinkies are going to like, you know, they're not going to last you as long. You know what I mean? Like you're going to be so hungry in that moment and you decide to eat the Twinkies that you can't eat your dinner, but then right after all the food is gone, you're hungry because you ate something that wasn't going to fill you up long enough to get you through.
Well, when you put it in there.
Are you still going to choose the Twinkies? Because you, in that moment, just remember that moment where you were just like, oh my gosh, I am hungry. Like, the way you guys attacked that pizza today, I would have guessed some of you haven't eaten since last Thursday. I'm just kidding. But like, do you still choose the Twinkies? Like, are you still in that moment and be like, gosh, I I need that. I need these Twinkies because I'm not going to be patient enough to wait for something that is going to satisfy me longer and is going to taste better and it's going to make me feel better. Because chances are, if you eat a whole box of Twinkies, you're not going to feel very good. Those things are greasy. I don't know if you've ever, like, after you eat one, kind of looked at your hands and you're like, ew, what is that? Like, where'd that... I wasn't eating French fries. I was eating a Twinkie. Well, yeah, Twinkies are kind of gross. Not about that. But, so are you still going to choose it? Tori's like, heck no, I'm not choosing the Twinkies. I'm waiting for this, like, 5-course meal. So, but yeah, just something to start thinking about, like, well, am I going to choose something that's going to, like, fill me up, but then I kind of miss out on, like, what's actually good and what's actually going to fill me for a long time. So, with that, I just have a couple of definitions. They're on your paper. The first definition, I love definitions, by the way. Like, I can know a word. Davion needs a piece of paper and a pen. I love definitions. Like, even if I know the word, I'm like, ooh, headband, what does that mean? I'm going to look it up. I know what it means. I just rather see what they have to say, because sometimes some words have meanings that I'm like, that meant that? What? That has a whole other meaning than I've been using it for a really long time. Like, okay, this probably has nothing to do with anything, but like, I work with a lot of Hispanic kids, and I sometimes like to use what little Spanish I know. And so sometimes I'll be talking to my boss. She's not Hispanic, but I just use it, whatever. And I'll use the word mañana for minute. That means tomorrow, but I think it sounds cooler using it as like, oh, I'll be there in 5 mañanas. That doesn't mean it. Like, so I had to look it up the other day, and I was like, oh, crap, I've been using that wrong for a while now. And I was like, nope, still going to use it. Anyway, so, see, I want to know what words mean because I want to use them if they sound cool. And I'm not like big words, but just normal words. So anyway, back to what I was saying. All right, so the definition of choice is the power/right or an alternative. Listen, you guys always have a choice on what you are going to do. You always have a choice on like everything. Everything you do is a choice that you make. No one else is going to make it for you. No one chooses to, like, I don't choose for Tori to have a relationship with God. Like, she chooses that on her own. I don't choose for Java to wear that shirt today. Like, he made that decision on his own. I even know I would choose that, but whatever. So, you guys choose. You guys make choices every single day. Think about how many choices you make. You choose what you're going to wear. You choose whether or not you brush your teeth. You choose whether or not you get out of bed. Sometimes you feel like you don't have a choice. You do. In every situation in life, you have a choice. You always have a choice. All right? Next definition is discipline. And that is the training expected to produce a specific character or pattern of behavior, especially training that produces moral or mental improvement. So, what I'm talking about today is the pursuit of happiness. Whether you're going to choose instant gratification or whether you are going to choose long-term satisfaction. Okay, I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. I have not always been saved. I have not always loved the Lord. I've always known about the Lord. I just have not always loved him and knew that I could have a relationship with him. So, I've always known what is right and wrong, but I chose in high school and in junior high to make choices that made me feel good in the moment and made me happy in a moment. Not like, I'm not happy about half the things that I chose to do in high school. Like, I'm not happy about them, and I didn't stay happy about them for more than like a day. So what I would do is I would either always have to have a boyfriend in junior high. When I got to high school, I'd continuously go back to my ex-boyfriend because I was like, well, I'm not really happy right now. I'm kind of depressed, so I'm going to go be with this guy for a couple hours and then, see if that would make me happy. But then the next day I'd be like, why did I do that? Like, that was really dumb of me. And I'm not just talking about like big decisions like drinking or guys and girls or like, oh, I don't know. What else is there? Like food. Like I don't choose to like gorge out on food because it makes me feel okay for a little bit, because really it doesn't. Like later on I just feel crappy and I'm like, oh, why did I eat all that? Oh, because I was unhappy. So I just chose to do something in the moment that made me feel okay. I'd rather feel good, whether it's hard work or not, than like feel okay for something that was easy. If any of you were just in Richard's session, he said some of the most worth it things in life don't come easy. And that could not be more true. Could not be more true. You can also find it in like social media, Facebook, likes. Like, you can keep going to Facebook, checking your photos, checking your statuses, see how many people like it. Like the to be honest, or like my status, blah, 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 blah. Like, those are only going to make you feel good for a little bit. Like, how many of you read like a to be honest about yourself, and then 5 weeks later you're like, oh, I'm still feeling good about that, to be honest. That person really made me happy. Gosh, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm good for the year. I'm just completely happy for the year. There I am. What? No, like that does not happen. That's not like, that does not make you happy. Something, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this one. This is like really odd to me. When I found this out, it like broke my heart. You can buy likes on Instagram. Like, you can literally pay money to have pretend likes.
Dude.
Like, you can buy, like, oh, I'm going to pay like $50 for 500 likes. Well, why would you do that? Like, that's just where we're at in our like world right now. But why would you do that? Because it's not going to last, because you know it's not real, and you know it's not something that's like genuinely going to fill you up. Guys, the only thing that can fill you up, and I'm speaking 100% from experience and where my life is, because I have not always been like happy. 3-4 years ago, I would not be up here talking about this sort of thing. 3-4 years ago, even 2 years ago, I would not be dancing around the room rapping to people. Like, that is genuine joy that I do that. It's not just so I feel good or so I can like look cool. Like, that's just who I am, because I'm happy and I want to share that with other people. But you can't share something that you don't have, and you can't give something away that like you haven't genuinely experienced for yourself. And like, for real, Jesus is the only one that can make you feel genuinely happy, give you 100% satisfaction for more than just 24 hours, or more than just a week, or more than just like a high. And it's not going to come from just big events. It's not going to come from, oh, I'm going to stand here, I'm going to go to shelter, I'm going to go to Revolution, and I'm going to feel good for a couple of days till the next week when it comes around. Guys, it takes work. That's where the discipline comes in. It takes work. Like, you have to fight to have long-term happiness and to have long-term satisfaction. It's not going to come easy, and no one can do it for you. You can't rely on a leader. You can't rely on your parents. You can't rely on anyone else. You have to make the choice. I don't choose for Mackenzie to be happy every day. I don't choose for her to have, like I said with Tori, I don't choose for her to have a relationship with him. She has to choose that on her own every single day. I'm going to read this verse out of Hebrews. It is also on your paper, so you can follow along with me. All right. This is Hebrews 12, 1 through 13. Kind of long, but I'm going to stop in the middle of it. It says, "Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a huge crowd of witnesses to the life of faith, let us strip off every weight that slows us down, especially the sin that so easily trips us up. And let us run with endurance the race God has set before us. We do this by keeping our eyes on Jesus, the champion who initiates our perfect faith. Because of the joy awaiting him, he endured the cross, disregarding its shame. Now he is seated in the place of honor beside God's throne. Think of all the hostility he endured from sinful people. Then you won't become weary to give up." All right, I'm going to stop right there really fast. You guys have to think about all the things that Jesus went through. when he died on the cross for you, to live a long, happy life. He didn't do it so you could just keep running back to the same things every single weekend. He didn't do it so you can keep like relying on other things to make you happy. He didn't do it so like you just keep turning away from him over and over again. Luckily, because he died on the cross, we are forgiven and we have received grace. So we are like, it's okay if you mess up. It's not okay to just keep going back because you think that it's like going to make you happy for the rest of your life, because it's not. Because I don't talk to anyone in high school that I like relied on to make me happy. I don't drink anymore because I do it because it doesn't make, like, it never made me happy, and I did it for the wrong, like, there's not the right reason, but I did it to cover up pain and hurt and hoping that it would change my life, and it did in a bad way. And I got tired of trying to like fight, like, well, let's see if this is gonna make me happy again. Like, let's try again this weekend. Let's I don't know, like, turning to those things never made me happy. I was never satisfied, and I always want more, and that's how addiction starts, is you just keep having to run back and get more because it's not fully filling you up. Jesus never he was never like, oh, I have to get a wife, I have to like have a girlfriend, I have to do this, I have to do this. Like, he like went against so many people just to have a relationship with his Father, and he knew it was going to be hard, and he fought for it. But in the long run, he was really okay with it, and he wouldn't have been able to like hang up on that cross and like endure the pain that he did. Because he didn't just endure physical pain, guys. He like took on all the pain that you've ever felt and ever will feel in your life. He emotionally took on that pain as well. You would not be able to do that if you did not like fully rely on God. All right, moving on. After all, you have not yet given your lives in your struggle against sin. And have you forgotten the encouraging words God spoke to you as his child? He said, my child, do not make light of the Lord's discipline, and don't give up when he corrects you. For the Lord disciplines those he loves, and he punishes each one he accepts as his child. As you endure this divine discipline, remember that God is treating you as his own children. Who ever heard of a child who's never disciplined by his father? If God doesn't discipline you as he does all of his children, it means that you are illegitimate and not really his children at all. Since we respected our earthly fathers who disciplined us, shouldn't we submit even more to the discipline of our Father of our spirits and live forever? For our earthly fathers disciplined us for a few years, doing the best they knew how. But God's discipline is always good for us. So that we might share his holiness. No discipline is enjoyable while it is happening. It's painful. But afterwards, there will be a peaceful harvest of right living for those who are trained in this way. So take a new grip with your tired hands and strengthen your weak knees. Mark out a straight path for your feet so those who are weak and lame will not fall but become strong. And that's like the point I want to hit on, guys, is like, it is your choice. And it's not going to be easy. But it's going to be a whole heck of a lot more worth it. And you won't get as tired and you won't get as burned out because you're not running back and forth. But you're pacing yourself and like running towards something that's going to be like long lasting. And you're only going after one thing. Like, I'm running after Jesus. I'm not running after guys. I'm not running after music. And I'm not running after movies. I'm not running after relationships with friends. And I'm not running from group to group to group trying to get satisfaction from all these different things, but I'm only focusing on one thing in the distance. Like, it doesn't necessarily sound fun thinking about how long it sometimes takes, or how like the process isn't always the easiest, but I promise you it is going to be way more worth it. The fight that I've had to go through, the things that I've had to walk through, the fight that I've had to go through with my family, things like that is way more worth it now, because I've never imagined being this happy before in my life. And I'm not saying days don't get hard, because they do. There are days I'm like, why do I do this? And then I remember that the joy that God is giving me is so much more worth it. And I am able to like overcome a lot more things, and I am able to enjoy my life and like want to give that away to other people. I want other people to be able to enjoy life the way that I am able to, but you have to make a choice. I can't make that for you. So, we are about done, but I'm going to give you guys time to write down. There's spots on here that says short-term and long-term. And on the short-term ones, I just want you to think about things that you do now that you find satisfaction in the moment, that you're like, well, I watch these movies, or I listen to this music, or I like turn to these people, or I text, or I like get on like Instagram and check my likes every 5 seconds because I want people to like, everything that you do that you seek out short-term happiness for, that you know isn't going to like give you long-lasting happiness, I want you to write that in short-term. And then I want you to either think about things that you do now or things that you want to do that are going to bring you long-term happiness. Like, I listen to way more Christian music now than I ever have, and sometimes I don't want to, but I do because I know it's going to be worth it, and I know it's going to fill me up a lot more than like not. And I'm not saying it's like all revolves around the church, but I also like, I just do things that I love, guys. Like, I love on other people. That brings me way more happiness than like tearing people down and talking about them because it like may feel good in this moment. And like when I'm mad at people, I don't talk about them. When I used to be mad at people, I used to tell them that I was mad at them and like made sure they knew it, but then I felt horrible afterwards. So I'm going to turn on some worship music, and I just want you guys to think about that. Feel free to spread out around the room. And I just want you to spend some time with God, like thinking about what kind of life that you want and what kind of like happiness you want in your life. All right? Cool.